Good evening and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and I am here to do 3-card, more or less, readings for your questions that you post in chat. And welcome to the Day Before Halloween edition. So, is everyone ready for celebrations? We've got Halloween that's celebrated. It's a big deal in the United States. That's celebrated tomorrow with parties and trick-or-treating. And we've got Samhain, or the Feast of the Dead, that is celebrated as well by many of us. I'll be doing the Samhain ritual with my shrine. We're doing that on Sunday the 2nd because that is the date that worked out the best for all of us. Technically, it's celebrated November the 1st, but November the 2nd worked out the best for us. It's a special observance, of course. We honor the spirits of our beloved ancestors, but since everyone in my shrine is involved with the Nashville Pagan Pride Day, this is also where we take the messages that people leave at our ancestor shrine at Pagan Pride Day. As part of our ritual, we'll read those aloud and burn them in the bonfire. And hello to Janet, and hello to Anissa. Good to see you both. And happy Halloween or blessed Samhain to everyone. So tomorrow I'm celebrating by giving out candy because I enjoy seeing the little ones in their costumes coming to the door, or even not so little ones. It's part of my celebration. So, and I hope they all come and take all this great big bag of candy my husband bought because, well, we actually do not need to be eating this much candy in my house. I have been successfully losing some weight and I don't want to backtrack on it. So, if you've got a question, post it in chat. If you want to post and say how you are celebrating, post in chat. And blessed Sal and Reverend Don, it's good to see you. And Swack Fan says, hello, Reverend Mary. I celebrate my birthday tomorrow. Well, happy birthday to you. And blessed solar return to you. And blessed Samhain and Halloween to you, Janet. Good to see everyone. Do not have a pumpkin this year. We've been very busy and we didn't get around to getting one to carve. And the original custom comes to us from Scotland, where they did not have pumpkins. They have turnips. If you want to see something truly scary, go Google what a carved turnip looks like. They are very hard compared to pumpkins. So people get creative with their pumpkins. You cannot get creative with the turnip. Basically, they are a slash for the eyes, nose, and mouth. The custom was to carve something scary to keep away the spirits that wander on Samhain night, since the gate between the worlds is, or the veil is very thin. And They are certainly terrifying to look at. So, and hello to Kayleen. It's good to see you. Good to see everyone popping in. At least I remembered my tissue tonight. So welcome everyone. If you've got a question for me, post it in chat. Samhain was also traditionally a time for divination. So this is a very auspicious time for readings. And Swack Fan says, I put them in my greens. Anissa says, will we have good weather tomorrow? And happy birthday, Swack Fan. Well, Anissa, if you want to know about your weather tomorrow, I suggest you check your weather report. And Kylene says, I just looked up the carved turnips, and yes, they are terrifying. Yeah, if you were walking somewhere and suddenly came up on one of those, I met all lit with a candle inside, that would scare you if you were not expecting it. So, yes, Anissa, Google your weather for tomorrow. That will answer your question. Janet says, we have a few pumpkins, but I didn't carve them. I like to save the seeds. And that's a good idea. So, anybody else got a question for me? Okay, Swack Fan wants to know, what is the month ahead looking like for me? All right, this is also a good time to do a reading for November. So, month ahead for Swack Fan. Swack Fan says he loves turnip greens. I always thought of that as something we eat here in the South, Swack Fan. But I know you're in Minnesota, so that's interesting to me. All right, what do the cards have to say for Swack Fan? All righty, so the first thing I have for you is the Five of Cups for November. So this is some sort of emotional loss, upset. Be prepared for it to be a little rocky emotionally. And now I've got time. This is one of the extra cards in the Major Arcana. This represents the Mayan god, the Mayan god of time. And this is talking about the cycles of time. And the Mayans viewed time as a cycle, with the idea that rather than time marching forward, it's a cycle that endlessly repeats itself. And the wisdom of this card is that whatever is happening right now is transitory. So if things are going well, it's not going to last forever. So put some hay in the barn for when things are not going to go so well. If things are not going well for you, then remember, this is also not permanent, and the cycle will spin and things will get better. Now, I've also got the Four of Lamps for you. And this card, the Suit of Lamps, relates to magic and spirituality. And this card says that in your current situation, you need to gain more information before acting. And I'm going to pull one more card, and I've got the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles are around our finances, our material situation. So I'm going to say you're going to have a lot of energy in the material realm, and to move carefully, since this card comes right after the Four of Lamps. So move carefully in matters concerning your finances in November. And Swag Fan says he's originally from Louisiana, and I'm going to say that explains the turnip greens. Janet says her grandma roasted turnips. That sounds good. Nisa says, could Tarot tell me how many trick-or-treaters we're going to get? The exact number, no, but let's see here. Are you going to get a lot of trick-or-treaters? So, I will do a one-card pull for you, Anissa. If it's upright, you get a lot of trick-or-treaters. If it's reversed, you don't get too many trick-or-treaters, okay? So what have we got? Well, I've got the Empress upside down, so you're not going to get very many trick-or-treaters. Not many trick-or-treaters. The upside of it is you're going to have candy. Leftover candy. So, you win either way, really. All right. So, anyone else have a question for me? Or want to share some of their Halloween or Samhain customs? I used to take my daughter trick-or-treating at the mall, but we really don't have malls anymore. They're kind of a thing of the past. Now they do trunk or treats, which I guess is kind of the same thing. We used to do roasted pumpkin seeds when I was a kid. Anissa says she needed to know. I needed to know if I need more candy. I think you're good with whatever candy you've got. You can always buy more Saturday when it's half off. And Kylene says, could I get a reading on preparing for the peace conference on the 5th and 6th through December, please? And yes, we will be hosting a peace conference, so look for more information on that. Janet says I didn't get many trick-or-treaters due to the wind and rain tonight, so lots of leftover candy. All right, Kylene, and I'm so glad to hear you are speaking at the Peace Conference. That is wonderful. And hello, Rosa. Good to hear from you. You're welcome, Swag Fan. And hello to Reverend Jedi. Good to see you. All right, first card I've got for you, Kylene, is the Two of Cups. This suggests that you are going to get a lot of help from a friend, someone you are close to. Next card I've got is the High Priestess, and this says you're going to be getting guidance from spirit guides. So you're going to get help in human form and in divine guidance. Okay, Maggie. Yeah, it's showing emails tonight. That I'm not sure why. And then we have got the Seven of Pentacles, which suggests you need to think about your topics carefully. I'm going to pull one more question or card for you. And I've got the King of Pentacles, which is Pentacles is an interesting suit to draw regarding your question, but the King of Pentacles is in the position he's in because of careful thought and planning. So ultimately, the wisdom here is that your presentation, whatever you're doing for the peace conference, needs to involve some careful thought and planning. So I hope that helps. And Anissa says trunk and treat was invented by so mainstream society doesn't think they are committing sins. This is true because trick or treat might be of the devil. And Janet wants to know, how will this year end? All righty. Uh, and I'm dropping stuff off my desk here. All right, Janet. All right, so the first card I have for you is the Three of Pentacles. And this means being respected for your work, for the things that you do, your skills, what you have accomplished. have the Two of Cups again, and this is talking about relationships being important. Could be a romantic relationship, could be a friendship, but a relationship is going to be very important. And finally, I have the Magus, the Magician. So you have the ability to manifest what you want in the situation. So, whatever you want to manifest, you can, as long as you are directing your energy in that direction. So, I hope that's helpful, Janet. And Kylene says, thank you. I think my guides have already had an influence in how I ask the question. Yes, that does help. And Michael is asking for a reading about an event he's attending tomorrow. Okay. And we have an escapee. So we'll set that one aside. Good to see you, Michael. And you're very welcome, Janet. Escapee number 2. All right. So, lots of cards here, Michael. First card I've got for you is the King of Swords. And this is talking about being in a good position, and you got there by careful thought and strategic planning and careful communication. And then I've got the Seven of Swords, which means you're going to be in a situation where things are not going to be easy. You can get the result you want, but you're going to have to work for it. Followed by the Ace of Lamps. And when the Ace of Lamps comes up, you need to look at the situation from other people's point of view. And then the 2 escapees I had. The first one is the 4 of Wands. Now, this is achieving a goal that you wanted. And then I have Death. And of course, this means going through a transformation. And this is an awful lot of information to take in. So I'm going to say that you are in a good position to achieve what you want. You are going to have to work towards it. And if you achieve your goal, it's going to be the catalyst for a total transformation in your life. And I think your situation is kind of be careful what you ask for. So I hope that is helpful for you, Michael. Okay. Who else has a question for me? Sure, you can get a reading, Reverend Jedi. Just a second while I get shuffled up here. All righty. So, the first card I've got for you is Heart. And this means that in your current situation, you've got a lot of emotion involved in. This shows a romantic situation. It doesn't mean your situation is a romantic one. It just means that you have a lot of emotion involved. Next, we've got the Ace of Lamps, which is suggests that you need to look at your situation from the other person's point of view. And I've got the Nine of Cups. This is called the Wish card because it means whatever you want will come true. It also means what it means in this situation is that be careful what you are thinking. If you are putting positive energy into the situation, saying this is going to work out the way I want it to, it will. If you are putting negative energy into the situation, saying nothing good ever happens to me, you're also right. So, watch what you're thinking and your intentions are. Keep your thoughts in good order. And I hope that is helpful. And Maggie says Day of the Dead is celebrated on November the 2nd. If we're able, we set up an altar with our ancestors' foods, pictures of our deceased loved one, favorite items, and many flowers, especially marigolds. And that is a beautiful custom. Thank you for sharing that with us. You are very welcome, Reverend Jedi. All right. Does anybody else want a reading? Sorry, I keep fiddling with my rings here. I mentioned I was losing weight, and I'm gonna have to get some ring sizers, folks. My rings don't fit anymore. Okay, so or anybody else have a Samhain or Day of the Dead memory they'd like to share? All right. Well, if nobody else has anything else, we can go ahead and close down for the evening. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. I wish you all a happy Samhain, a blessed Samhain, a happy Halloween, and a blessed Day of the Dead. I will be back next Thursday. And until then, may you blessed be.